Welcome to this look back at the Eredivisie's European playoff final between Aซed and FC Twente. Aซed had home advantage as they finished highest in the regular season, fifth, 3 points above their opponents. Coach Martin Martens chose the same 11 that had swept past Heerenveen in the semi, so Max Merdink continued up front, fit again Troy Parrott starting on the bench alongside Jody Klaasie. Alex van Horenbeek was suspended for FC Twente after his red card in their semi-final win over NAC. Mace Hilgers fit enough to return in his place. Aซed wanted to mirror their fast start from the previous game, but it was the visitors that enjoyed the better of the first half, despite having been taken to extra time in their semi-final. Michel Flapp setting up Michel Sadele, who'd been the one to open the scoring against NAC. Martin's men didn't find it easy to create chances, but with European football at stake, the intensity was there from both sides. And an early clash of heads between Hilgers and Merdink was just one example. Referee Serdar Gözübiyik quickly stopped the game to allow treatment for both. The same thing happened 10 minutes later between Ricky van Wolfswinkel and Alexander Penetze, the first of many duels between the Twente striker and Aซed defender, which would go on to have a big impact on the game. Here, van Wolfswinkel came off worst after trying to flick the ball on, whereas the Portuguese centre-half seemed okay, but again there was no outward ill feeling. Joseph Oosting's experienced striker was the one getting the better of their next encounter, as he won a penalty to help them open the scoring. A clever bit of play from the number 9, who put his foot between the defender's legs, knowing that he'd then get caught when Penetze tried to clear the ball. The referee said penalty. But there was also a VAR check, given the nature of the contact. It would have been hard to overrule it and state that the referee had made a clear and obvious error, so to Martin's frustration the decision stood. Up stepped the Eredivisie's leading scorer, Sam Stein. He slotted his 29th of the season in the previous round and now made it 30 in all competitions. In his final game before leaving for finals, once again, his family were on hand to watch. Ased's struggles were summed up by the fact after 36 minutes they'd failed to have any efforts on goal, not even a touch of the ball inside the penalty area. They did have the option of introducing Klaasie, Parrott or both in the second half. But things got worse before that, as they lost the ball under Twente's pressing and conceded another. Stein inevitably on the end of things again. 31 goals is a hugely impressive total for a midfielder. Flop with the setup after good work from Dan Rotz. A well-timed run from the midfielder which kept him and the goalscorer just on the side. Stein getting there ahead of Seya Maikuma. And from this point, it was hard to see past a Twente win. Had they managed to get to half-time still 2 goals in front, things might have been different, but that second goal stirred Aซed into life. They hit back 3 minutes before the break. This time, it was Twente gifting the ball. Max Bruns' pass intercepted and Stein lost it on the edge of the box too. But he then made amends by clearing one off the line from Ernest Poku. Unfortunately, the ball fell straight to Merdink, who continued his fine run. A hat-trick in the semi-final, and now a 6th goal in 7 games. A hugely important moment that kept them in touch, shifting the momentum going into the break. But in a mirror of the semi-final, the game could also have taken another turn against the Tuckers late in the first half. That had been when they lost Van Horenbeek to a red card, having been in control against NAC, and they let things slip in the second period. Here, Van Wolfswinkel escaped with a yellow card for scraping his studs down Penetze's calf. That looked like it might be upgraded when the VAR suggested Josebik come and examine the incident for himself. But the referee stuck with his original decision, and this time Twente kept the full complement of 11 on the field. Penetra didn't make it back for the second half, replaced by Maxim Decker, while Ibrahim Sadiq came on for Poku. It was Merdink again that quickly came to the fore, with a chance to level things inside the first minute after the restart. Twente's only change saw their semi-final match winner, Yunus Taha, replace Rots. And he had their first chance after the break. Attempting to catch out Roman Jaden Owusu Odura in the home goal. The young keeper wasn't far enough away from his goal for it to be successful, and he adjusted just in time, but it was still a close one. And it also came at a key time, because shortly afterwards Arsed completed their comeback. Ruben van Bommel smashing one in from long range. A shot which seemed to surprise keeper Przemysław Tytoń. He was continuing to deputise for the injured Lars Unestål. Certainly enjoyed in the stands by his dad Mark and granddad Bert van Marwijk. Although it was coming more or less straight at the keeper, he appeared to react late. All those around Van Bommel certainly enjoyed it too. They sensed the game now was theirs for the taking. Tytoń acquitted himself much better with the next challenge, coming out quickly to smother the ball ahead of Merdink. And make sure Sven Meinens had no way through either. But the control Twente had previously asserted was now missing as they tried to slow the game down and blunt Alzed's attacking. Hilgers was another to go into the book for making sure that Per Koopmeiners couldn't progress towards goal. The presence of Bruns behind him saved the defender from a red, but it didn't make the home side any happier at his actions. An even better save from the former Poland #1 followed in the final 20 minutes as he confronted Van Bommel, and this time came out on top. A close-range block, keeping alive their own hopes of nicking it before needing more extra time to complete the job. And they nearly did, with 15 minutes to go when a last-gasp clearance by Decker preserved parity. Fluck, the unlucky one who didn't connect fully with the shot, and that allowed the keeper to get a touch, slowing the ball down. Von Wolfswinkel's foul then brought an end to the attack. This game could still have gone either way, and replays showed just how close this was. But with extra time approaching, Arsed broke to win the game and take the spoils. A Twente attack faltered, and Parrott used his fresher legs to take the ball deep, as well as getting the benefit of the doubt when he barged Gustav Lagerbielke out of the way. Tytoń's save then went in the one place he didn't want it to, and Sadiq pounced to settle it. Arguably his most valuable goal of this season and a first in 2 months. It secured their third win over Twente in the campaign, by the same scoreline as the most recent one, which came just 2 weeks before this. Oosting said it was the story of their season in many ways. They control games, get themselves ahead, and then something happens to give their opponents hope, and they lose their grip. There was still time for one last bit of drama as the visitors almost forced extra time through Arne Verschuren. That save, as much as Sadiq's goal, ensured AZ European football for the 8th season in a row. Albeit in the second qualifying round of the UEFA Conference League, so they'll have 3 rounds of home and away matches to get through in order to reach the league phase. While Twente have nothing to show from another promising season. Until next time, from me, Jonathan Beck, it's goodbye.